Hey future teacher, are you looking at lists and lists of concepts and ideas for the CSET reading, language, and literature section and feeling overwhelmed? You're not alone, but what if I told you all these terms tell a single, connected story? By the end of this, you won't just have memorized definitions, you'll understand the entire ecosystem of literacy.
This video is proudly brought to you by teacherpreps.com, your ultimate partner in exam success. If you want the complete study guide and access to realistic practice tests that will truly prepare you, head over to our website. Click the link below and start boosting your confidence today.
Let's start at the very beginning, with the atoms of language. First up, phonemic awareness. This is all about sound. It's the ability to hear and play with the individual sounds, or phonemes, in spoken words. Think of phonemes as the Lego bricks of sound. When a child can identify words that rhyme, like cat and hat, that's phonemic awareness. Blending is putting those sound bricks together. C-A-T becomes cat. Segmenting is breaking them apart. Dog becomes D-O-G, and phoneme manipulation is being a sound master, adding, deleting, or changing sounds to make new words. This is a crucial pre-reading skill. Now, what happens when we give those sounds meaning? We get morphology, the study of word parts. The root word is the core of a word's meaning. A prefix latches onto the beginning to change the meaning, like in undo. A suffix goes at the end, like ellie in quickly. Together, prefixes and suffixes are called affixes. Using them to form new words, like going from happy to happiness, is called derivation. And changing a word's form to show tense, like from walk to walks, is inflection. Okay, we have sounds, and we have meaningful word parts. Now, let's build sentences. That's where syntax comes in. Think of syntax as the blueprint for a sentence, the rules for how we arrange words. It governs sentence structure. The basic units are phrases, groups of words like on the table, and clauses, which contain a subject and a verb. An independent clause can stand alone as a sentence. She arrived. A dependent clause cannot. When she arrived. Combine two independent clauses, and you get a compound sentence. Combine an independent and a dependent clause, and you have a complex sentence. Understanding this is key to understanding writing. But a grammatically perfect sentence is useless if it doesn't mean anything. Welcome to semantics, the study of meaning. Denotation is the literal dictionary definition of a word. A dove is a type of bird. Connotation is the cultural or emotional meaning we attach to it. A dove connotes peace. We also have words with multiple meanings, polysemy, words that sound the same but mean different things, homonyms, and beautiful figurative language like metaphors and similes that go beyond the literal. And don't forget context clues, the hints in a sentence that help us figure out unfamiliar words. So syntax is the rules, and semantics is the meaning. But language is more than that, right? We use it in the real world. That's pragmatics, the social rules of language. It's about contextual language use, knowing not to tell a joke at a funeral. It's about understanding implied meaning. When someone says, "Wow, it's cold in here," they might really mean, "Could you please close the window?" It's the engine behind polite requests and the unspoken conversational maxims, like being truthful and relevant. So how do we learn all of this? Through language acquisition. This includes first language development and second language acquisition. Two huge theories here are Stephen Krashen's comprehensible input, the idea that we learn language best when we receive messages we can mostly understand, and the affective filter hypothesis, which says that stress and anxiety can block our ability to learn a language. And finally, the critical period hypothesis suggests there's a window in early life when learning a language is easiest. Now we have all the linguistic pieces. Let's see how they come together to create a reader. This is literacy development. It starts with emergent literacy. Everything a child knows about reading before they can actually read, like holding a book the right way. Then comes decoding, using phonics to translate written symbols into spoken words. As they get better, they achieve word recognition, identifying words instantly. This leads to fluency, reading with speed, accuracy, and expression. And the ultimate goal? Reading comprehension, truly understanding and interpreting the text, which is supported by strong vocabulary development. When we talk about comprehension, there are different levels. This is huge for the CSET. Literal comprehension is reading the lines. What did the character say? Inferential comprehension is reading between the lines. Why did the character say it? This involves inference making. Evaluative comprehension is reading beyond the lines. Do you agree with the character? Was this a well-written story? It's about judging the text. To comprehend and evaluate, you need proof. That's textual evidence and analysis. You can use direct quotations or paraphrasing to support your ideas. You'll look for symbolism, where an object represents a deeper idea, and use contextual clues to figure out tricky parts. Doing this well requires close reading, analyzing a text carefully to unlock its deeper meaning. This is especially important for informational texts, which are organized in specific ways, like cause and effect, compare and contrast, or problem and solution. Their goal is either to inform or to persuade. When analyzing, you always have to consider the source. What is the author's perspective? What is the author's viewpoint or opinion on the topic? Do they have a bias, a prejudice that affects their judgment? Are they using stereotyping, oversimplified beliefs about a group of people? You also need to consider the text complexity. What makes a text easy or hard? Word frequency. Are the words common or rare? Sentence length. Are the sentences short and simple or long and complex? Background knowledge. How much does the reader need to already know to understand the text? We've mastered reading. Now let's talk about writing. The writing process, or writing conventions, is a journey. Pre-writing, brainstorming and organizing. Then, drafting, getting that first version down on paper. Followed by revising, improving the big picture, the ideas and structure. This is not the same as editing. And here comes editing, fixing the small stuff, grammar, spelling, and punctuation. And finally, publishing, sharing the final work. And what do we write? There are many literary genres and text types. You'll analyze a story's theme, the central message, motif, a recurring element, and plot structure. You'll perform character analysis. For nonfiction, you might write expository texts that explain a topic, and you'll almost always need a strong thesis statement to summarize your main argument. Okay, we're almost there. We know how language works, how we read it, and how we write it. Now let's put on our teacher hat. How do we teach and measure all of this? We teach different writing skills, like essay writing, creative writing, expository writing, and persuasive writing. And we use assessment techniques to check for understanding. Formative assessments are ongoing checks, like exit tickets. Summative assessments are end-of-unit evaluations, like a final exam. Diagnostic assessments are pre-tests to see what students already know. To teach this effectively, we use instructional strategies. Differentiated instruction means adapting our teaching to meet diverse student needs. Scaffolding is providing temporary support, like training wheels, until a student can do it alone. Explicit vocabulary instruction and phonics instruction are direct, clear, and proven methods for teaching reading. Finally, as teachers, we must be prepared to support all learners, including special populations. This includes English language learners, ELLs, students who speak with dialectal variations, and students with language disorders. Our strategies must be inclusive and effective for every single student in our classroom. And there you have it. From a single sound or phoneme, all the way to differentiating instruction for an entire classroom. See how it all connects? It's not just a list anymore. It's a story. The story of how we communicate, understand, and teach. If you want to get to know more, or even take a practice test, you can visit us at teacherpreps.com.